In this video, I'm going to talk to you about Salesforce IDs and whether or not they're case sensitive. Some of these details are really important, and I had to learn these lessons the hard way, so hopefully I can save you some pain and suffering. My name is Brian Hayes. I'm a Salesforce consultant and trainer with Rotive. Originally, Salesforce record IDs were case sensitive, and technically they still are, which is a bit problematic. The reason why this is a problem is because a lot of people don't realize that. And when you're using a record ID to match up with another record ID in Excel or some other system, the default often is to treat them as case insensitive. So a capital A and a lowercase a would be the same for that particular record ID. But Salesforce didn't see it that way. So a capital A and a lowercase a would be two different records potentially. And it's very easy to miss that detail when you're working with these records and spreadsheets and doing imports and that kind of thing. So Salesforce expanded the IDs of all their records to go from 15 characters to 18 characters. And the 18 character ID is case insensitive. So it doesn't matter if you've got uppercase or lowercase, that's a unique string to identify a particular record. This solved all of the Excel spreadsheet nightmares. But the challenge is you still need to know how to use those 18 character IDs and be careful not to use those 15 character IDs. Because in the database, those 15 character IDs are still there. So let me show you in Salesforce. We're looking at a lead record here. And if you look at the URL bar, you can see the ID right here. Because we're in Lightning, this is giving us the 18 character case insensitive ID. This is the one that we want to use, and you can see that it ends in VXP-EAU. The trick is, if we run a report, we're going to be looking at the 15 character ID. So here's a lead report that I created, and here's our lead, Jeff Glimpse, but it doesn't end in EAU, it ends in VXP. That's just the 15 character one. That's the case insensitive ID that's still in the database. So when you run that report and you pull in the lead ID or the contact ID or what have you, it's going to default to the 15 character version, which is not case insensitive. Even though in the URL here, we've got the 18 character one with the extra 3 characters at the end, that E, that A, and that U. The best thing to do to make sure that you don't accidentally export those 15 character IDs instead of the 18 is to create a new field to automatically reference the 18 character version. To do that, we can go into Object Manager for the particular object, in this case for the lead, and you can create a new formula field using a special function that'll convert that 15 character ID into an 18 character one. So if I go to Fields and Relationships here, click New, I can create a formula field. I'm going to call this field ID, 18 characters. The output of the field should be text. And then in our formula, we'll start with the function caseSafeID. So here it's taking the ID value as a parameter, and it's going to convert that 15 character ID into our case insensitive 18 character ID. So click Insert on that function, and it actually already has the parameter for the ID included in this function, and we don't have to add anything else. Hit Check Syntax just to make sure everything looks good. Then click Next, provide access to the different profiles, and then you can choose to include this on the page layout or not. If you're just going to use it in reports and things like that, I wouldn't include it on the layout. But in this case, I will, just so that you can see that it's working on our lead here. So this lead, again, has an ID that ends in EAU. If we scroll down, here is our formula for our 18 character ID, and that's matching what's in the URL. Again, ending in EAU instead of the old version, which ended in VXP. I hope that clears things up. So Salesforce does have case-sensitive IDs, but they've given us this ability to use an 18 character ID instead of the old 15 one, which is going to be case insensitive. And remember, this is the one you want to use whenever you're exporting data and wanting to then re-import it at some point or match up different records based off the ID. I really hope this video saves you some pain and suffering. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.